Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal. I'm Atlas Opia, and I help people expand their interdimensional knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing how to collapse time and what that actually means. If you felt for a while that time itself is not exactly what you thought it was, there's a reason for that, because your consciousness is pushing you in a direction where you're able to go beyond third dimensional time so you can tap into energy that exists in your future, so you can really bridge the gap between what you want to create and what is happening now. If you're back on this video, definitely consider subscribing, and if you're new here and you enjoy understanding how our metaphysical world plays a part in our day-to-day actions, check out the rest of my videos and let me know what you think. So to get right into it, time is how the third dimension stays together, okay? Our formless soul has placed us in a third dimensional form so we can have another experience of being a human. And so in this third dimensional world, we have to understand how it's built so we can learn how to maneuver in and around it depending on what we would like to accomplish. So third dimensional time gives your formless soul an association to the body based on past, present, and future. Because your body is moving through time and space from your birth until your death in this reincarnation. So time is kind of a structure that allows us to slow down the pace at which we're experiencing the world. And ironically, society itself has taught us that in order to be successful, we have to continuously be doing something, and the moment we stop putting in action, our results also stop. This is not necessarily true, because that is just using masculine energy, and we have to balance feminine energy because both exist inside of us. But when you go through an awakening and ascension, you're being called to pivot your consciousness into a different dimension. And what I always say is, it's not being in your body or your higher self and only moving towards things that are high vibe and gravitating towards a culture of love and light where we're not really understanding what we have to face, so we can move towards spiritual integration, which is learning how to use our psychic powers and the energy of our soul in the body we are currently in. To merge both worlds is very important. So when you go outside of the matrix, during meditation, when you're doing something creative, when you're allowing your imagination, which is the astral field, to guide you where you want to go, you are moving outside of past, present, and future, and you're coming into a recognition that time is simply a location in the quantum field. So if you look at your life from beginning to end, all the experiences that have happened are different points in the quantum field. And when you travel a certain distance in the quantum field, you are traveling a certain amount of time forward or backwards with just your soul. And so whenever you remember an experience that happened to you when you were younger and you're immersing yourself in that energy, what you're doing is taking yourself to a location in the quantum field that is further away from where you are now, and you're getting to experience that memory. But the interesting thing is, distance traveled in the quantum field with your soul, which is the observer in you, does not require you to be bound by past, present, or future. So when you're moving from one point into another in the quantum field, and it may be a large distance, which could signify a large gap of time in the third dimension. Maybe you're looking at something in the future or past. That jump in consciousness to that point is not bound by the distance. When you are in the perception of your soul, when you are in that free-flowing imagination, not bound by the structure of the third dimension, you're truly able to travel wherever you need to go, because the whole universe is connected and you are a manifestation from pure consciousness. Every single thing in this universe is a manifestation of pure consciousness. So when we can back up from the manifested form we are in, which is the identity or the body or what we've become in this reincarnation, we can move into the purity of realizing that we are the entire universe and everything is one, and there's a connection through everything based on how everything is made, which is from pure consciousness. It's similar to the internet. There's a network of information. So that is how you're able to travel quickly when you're in the position of your higher self, is because you're not bound by form. But then when you are in the same example, you can shift your position into the body and realize that, okay, these memories that I'm recalling, or this point in the future that I am looking at, is separated from this present moment by a large amount of time. So when we're manifesting, when we're bound to the third dimension, we can feel like, how am I supposed to feel what I want to create? If I can see a version of me in the future that already has what I want, which is a timeline that your soul can experience, it's a version of life that you can embody. Similar to the other stories that you've lived through during your life. When you are in your soul and you can see that point in the future, move there with your soul, meaning do this after a meditation, do this while you're doing something creative, or just allow the spindle in your third eye to go in or out, or imagine that you're in an elevator going up. Or another technique you can use to shift into your higher self is go into your heart and connect into the source of all creation, which is the universe and what your soul is, through the doorway that is your heart. Go to that point in time in the future where you're seeing what you want and experience that firsthand. Start to feel into that version of yourself. Feel into the moment where you know everything you want is already accomplished. And then start to bring that from that ethereal realm, or that very light feeling place you're in, and bring that into your body and then ground it into earth. And what you're doing is you're taking your consciousness, which is free flowing, it's not bound by any structure, and you're going to a different point in time and space where something exists. You're feeling into that energy, and then you're reinforcing that vibration so much that now you are believing this story is what your life has now become. And then you bring that into your body, and what you're doing is, you know, all the time it would have taken from you to move from the current point you are at, from that point in the future you're feeling into, all that collapses and shortens into you connecting the present moment into that future place, and then bringing that future energy into now much more quickly. And remember, when you're feeling that sensation, right? When you are in your free-flowing imagination and you can see a point in the future where something is happening, you can then entertain the idea that maybe it's not past, present, or future, but it's just that Earth is moving through an organized structure of time. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. All these things line together to give you what you want. But then in the higher realms, when you see a memory in the past or see something that is happening in the future, you can go there with your consciousness. And from your higher self, time in the third dimension is not real. And you can truly just go to a different point in the quantum field. And then when you're in that place of everything already being completed for you, you feel a sense of satisfaction. And you look back at all the times where you may have had doubts, where you were struggling, where things were hard, and you really genuinely feel the idea of, wow, I really give myself love for going through that. Isn't it crazy how I thought things weren't going to work out, and they did work out? And there's a sense of relief in you, and you're relaxing in the present moment, and you're not chasing that vibration of what you want. You already have it, so there's nowhere else to be. And then you can look back and see all the possible experiences and events that had to take place to get you where you're at. And you can look back and go, wow, I was really happy when that took place. I was super excited when that was going on. This really made me feel good. And that is how you kind of bridge the gap between what you see in the future through your imagination and what is happening now. And you can shorten the amount of time it would take for that thing to occur. Well, thank you guys for being a part of today's video. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Definitely tune in if you feel that your soul is calling you to expand your awareness of the interdimensional worlds. We all have things we do in that metaphysical realm. But the key is explaining to your mind how to integrate that information so you can perform higher levels of alchemy and really move into the power that you were meant to be. And if you're feeling like there is something you need to realize, you can feel a power is right next to you, you can feel a version of you that is shimmering with effervescent energy and is really living from a position of power and is able to apply all this metaphysical knowledge in practical form, then consider my galactic quantum coaching. It is there where I take people through a very gentle but calculated journey that I kind of structure based off of what I know and what you need and how you work. And I line our sessions with quantum healing, but also rewiring your emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical realm so you can integrate your starseed essence and exploring what that means, which is learning how to create a hybrid identity on Earth, and also learning how to explain to your mind the ways that your starseed reincarnation was impacting, manipulating, and changing the energy field for the greater good. I've broken those down into skills, and I can help you explain it to your mind so you can perform interdimensional work in this human body. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay in peace, power, and simplicity. And remember, I'm here if you need help, and you are exactly where you need to be. All right, bye.